Welcome back to another video. So, a couple weeks ago I said we'd check out the lore, and I'm going to stick to my promise. So, let me get a good background for this. I didn't actually look into... I looked at the list, but didn't look into it much. All right. Backstory. That's where we should start. Okay. A new way of tracking time is established by the Ageless. Anyone using the ancient system is burned at the stake, and all written text is transferred to the Library of Sorrow. Okay, first up, who are the Ageless? The Ageless ruled... I think they meant to say ruled. The Ageless ruled the old lands a millennia ago. Not much is remembered about them, but it assumes they were not human. Well, duh. Everyone in this world is a Wurmian. Library of Sorrow burns, triggering the Great Uprising. The last of the Ageless is killed by the hands of Willem Benth. Is he in real life or something? I don't remember. Former captain... Did I look at this before? Not on channel, but I do think I looked at this before. Former captain of the Ageless's own military force, the Keepers of Truth. Willem takes his own life minutes after the deed, but is still celebrated each year on the second day of awakening in the Starfall of Omens. Alright, 174. Well, hang on, let me just... Alright, so year 0 is when the new time flow was established. 56 was when the Library of Sorrow burned. 168 was when the Ageless were killed. Alright, 174, the Gathering is formed, serving as the supreme rulers of the known lands. Alright, what's the Gathering? Originally set up as the rulers of the land after the fall of the Ageless. Over time, their role diminished, and they now only serve as advisors. Oh wait, so does this lore only apply on PvP or something? Because there are no kings on PvE. Oh well. Great disease... Alright, so from 289 to 296, a great disease called the Pale Death sweeps through the known lands, killing far more than it leaves alive. Gathering invents the concept of money, tokens of ownership you trade in place of goods themselves. This concept proves highly efficient, triggering the gold... Oh, sorry. This was all in year 465. Triggering the Golden Ages, right? What? Alright. Year 552. The wealthy merchant house of Mol Rihan, that's one of the kingdoms, purchases a large piece of land from the Gathering, installing their oldest member, Johann King, as the sole ruler. Oh, Johann King is in JK, another one of the kingdoms. While the ruthless oppression of Johann King leaves the people broken and poor, helps further drive the wealth of the house Mol Rihan. Alright, let's look into the lore of both of these. Out of date due to recent updates. One of the kingdoms converted some... Okay, just one of the kingdoms ruled by a chancellor. Alright, nothing too interesting, just another kingdom. I said back. Oh, burp. Oh, that worked. Backstory. My internet must be slow. Okay, where were we? 552. Alright. Johann King is in JK. First king of Mol Rihan. Noble and courageous, yet ruthless king mentioned in many fables far and wide. Ruled with an iron fist, had many kids. Royal bloodline continues to this day. Cool. 574. Inspired by the success of the House of Mulrihan, the House Low Manor, probably another one of the kingdoms, tries to purchase land from the Gathering. The Gathering first denies this request, but is later forced to submit due to the Law of Fair, that is in the link, binding the Gathering. Other smaller houses quickly follow suit. So, the establishment of the kingdoms, basically. So, about 570 was when the kingdoms were established. In attempts to keep their power, the Gathering starts selling their service as diplomatic councils? That's probably what that meant to say. To the kingdoms. The last piece of free land is bought from the Gathering for the price of 7,000 gold coins. For reference, 1 gold coin is worth 100 real-life dollars. So someone spent 7 million. Oh, and they made a typo. I'm guessing this hasn't been worked on in a while. But someone spent 700,000 on land. Of course, this is backstory, so it didn't actually happen, but... Oh, I haven't been reading... Have I been reading the years? Sorry, so that was 7... The one with the Gathering starting selling their service was 635. Last piece of free land was 784. Alright, and then 844. The Kingdom of Jin attacks the Kingdom of Low Manor, badly wounds their king, and takes control of the Golden Valley, a large area very rich in natural resources. Now, that talks about the lore aspects of the Golden Valley, but what it doesn't talk about... It's the tutorial server... Oh, gods, how old is this? Nobody starts on Haven anymore. Anyway, used to be Golden Valley was where you were stuck if you were non-premium. Alright, 866. Negotiations break down in Low Manor. I'm not pronouncing that right. Sends its troops to strike at Jen, but are met by the armies of Kellen who have come to defend their... Oh, that earlier reference to someone with the initials JK wasn't correct. It's this, the Jen-Kellen Alliance. Kingdom of Low Manor... Oh, 885. The Kingdom of Low Manor falls and its hands are taken over... And its lands are taken over by Jen and Kellen. Alright, years 885 to 922. Unrest in the smaller kingdoms. The kingdoms of Jen, Kellen, and Mulrihan assemble vast armies, driving the population even further into poverty. We're almost done with the backstory. Year 922. The standoff is... Man, nobody has gone over this in a long time, have they? The standoff is broken when Mulrihan tries to stop the unrest in the smaller kingdoms by force. Jen Kellen sees an opening and swiftly attacks Mulrihan. Full-out war ensues. 934. Using superior tactics, Jen Kellen attacks and usurps the lands of several kingdoms not involved in the conflict. That violates the Geneva Convention. Anyway. 963, Mulrihan forms an alliance with many of the smaller kingdoms against Jen Kellen. The tide of war slowly shifts, and Jen Kellen is driven back. Jen Kellen wise men discovered strange gateways to the Golden Valley. On the far side of the gateways is a lush and peaceful land. Settlers are dispatched to exploit this new opportunity, but soon return with tales of horrible creatures and strange magic. Alright. That was the backstory going from the creation of time... Well, okay, the creation of the current measurement system up to about 1,000. So... wonder what that could be referring to. Oh well, back. Okay. And from here, the timeline gets a bit messed up. Let's check out Willem Bent. I'm pretty sure he exists in real life. Wait. Wasn't he the Black Knight? I'm trying to remember my real-world history here. Oh yeah, and, unrelated note, I got to level 7, so I've got Shield of the Gone, which protects me from enemy damage and healing, which that second one is not great, but whatever. Warrior of the 12 Keepers of Truth, who killed the last of the Ageless, a treacherous act that cost him his life. Some say the gods themselves commanded him to do it, taking control of his body for a time. Archaeological dig in the year 990, in the Golden Valley, where the strange portals to Wurm were discovered, uncovered a strange stone artifact with a single inscription. Okay, we've got a riddle. The truest of powers will be fleshed on the bone, and the angeless tempt nature to prey on its own. Blood at the altar, the vision shall come, with when the eyes of the moons are as round as the sun. Sorry, I might be dyslexic. I haven't really found out. In the citadel raised by lords before, the stone twins await, both the power and the law. Then the past and future shall finally show to the wounded the secret the Black Liars must know. And they shall be witness to that which will be. That wasn't me mangling it, that was just like bad writing on their part. And in the mind of Libya, the none shall be free. Some believe it may be a warning to those now living in the lands of Wurm, and as such the tablet was sent to the Abbey's archive for further study. It's also interesting to note that his death is celebrated on the Starfall of Omens. Alright, so we've got a dead link here. A dead link. Interesting. Alright. Let's do a bit more backstory about what happened, then we'll get to the player-controlled era. That's when things start getting fun. Jin. Jin is a kingdom that allied with Kellan. Okay, well that's just not great. Alright, Jin Kellan. Alright, one of the kingdoms. The largest and most populous kingdom, considerable influence. It's been notable for its formidable numbers and domination over the Altar of Three. Okay. So I have been to, I think, Defiance, and I chose Jin Kellan. So that's cool. That's my kingdom on my PvP person. Alright. Mol Reham. WIP? What? Oh, this is the current. This is the current version. We don't want that. The Treasure of the Ageless. Oh, no, we're not reading this, and this is a fan-made thing. We're going to ignore the fan-made stuff. We're going to focus on the, we're going to focus on the developer-made stuff and the stuff that actually happened that was caused by fans. Okay. You know what, let's just do this alphabetically, since there's no real timeline. Battle of Syphilis. Okay, attacking Jin Kellan forces consisted of players from many towns from both the Wild and Home server. They gathered at the White Light. It took a long period of time to gather their forces, so Syphilis... Is that intentional? And their allies at Dark Citadel had plenty of time. Oh wait, that's a player name, isn't it? The leaders of the raid saw and playtime over led them to Syphilis, but were slowed down by problems on the way. So this is a... So this is the story of a real battle that actually happened in Wurm. I mean, okay, not a real battle, but you know what I mean. This actually happened, and it was player-led. Once the army reached the town, they built a catapult to lay siege to the town's only entrance. After realizing the catapult wasn't doing anything, the army attacked the gatehouse directly. The Blacklighters started suicidal hit-and-run attacks, forcing some of the attack force to heal. The first wall of the gatehouse soon fell, and the attackers proceeded to the second wall. At this time, Explicit and Surf, these terrible names, decided to unlock the gatehouse. When the doors opened, both the White Light leaders charged inside the town, and the door was relocked. Both Sai and Maul were quickly killed while the rest of the army was still at the gate. After the second wall was broken through, the rest of the army entered the outer edge of Syphilis. With some help from some guards, the Blacklighters were able to push the rest of attackers out of the town. While some Whitelighters stayed to fight, others started to run. Some that escaped the counterattack died from wild beasts before they got home. A picture of the raid. Oh, sorry, that opened another tab, so you can't look at it. Sorry. Prime example of how a siege battle plan can go horribly wrong. First mistake the Whitelighters did was to gather a large force at an obvious rally point, the White Light. Now, while it's generally a good idea to go to such a place, this also makes it easier for the enemies to observe. Okay, this is just talking about tactics. Okay, that's just talking about tactics. Could have been an amazing victory if they hadn't been bad, pretty much. I mean, that's basically what they're saying long-windedly. Okay, Battle of Tardigan. I'm not pronouncing that right. You know what? Oh, wow. Wait. This is another Battle of Syphilis? Man, these guys. Okay, you know what? Forget all these battles. I want to look at the Hall of Champions. Talk about the tournaments, the Impelongs. It was held at Firecat on Celebration, which is suited to the... We've got to pack it up soon, don't we? Yeah, we've got like 5 minutes. It was held at Firecat on Celebration, which is situated on the peninsula of the Dead Noob Sea. I'm guessing there are sharks. At X31Y38. Impelong was held on November the 21st through November the 23rd. Sweet Susie and her alliance organized the events, blah blah blah. Okay. The first Impelong. And every year there's an Impelong on that date. Which, if you guys remember, I actually went to one of those recently. Well, semi-recently. It was a couple months ago. Okay, next up, the tournament. Biggest player-made event in the history of Wurm. Online, not Wurm Unlimited. It's hosted in different arenas around the Freedom Cluster 2 or 3 times a year. The inventor and main organizer is Sklo. Generally has 9 leagues. And the winner of one of those leagues receives extremely valuable donated prizes. We even had a real live Trove and Drake armor sets? If you had one of those, you could be a king. Main idea is that even a player with 9 fighting skill can win the same value of prizes as the best possible fighter. Sometimes even prizes for spectators. Okay, rules. Fighting is only allowed with provided gear. You have the right to pick a shield weapon of your choice. The provided gear is only borrowed and must be given back. The fight starts with the word start and ends with the event message. The winner is pronounced in the event message post-fight. Only spares are allowed. Any offensive, defensive spells or healing during the fight is forbidden. So it's a pure combat test. Any spells or meditation bonuses that may give you an advantage are forbidden. Why did I even get Shield of the Gone then? You can only win the prizes of one league. If you win more than one league with alts, the prizes which you made with your alts will go to the second place. Okay. If you have a meditation bonus that can't be turned off, but you can fight, but you forego your chances to win everything, you will receive the subtitle out of competition. So basically what that does is you can still fight, you just don't get any prizes. Which, can I turn off Shield of the Gone? Because, like, if I can't, that would be annoying. Oh, tools. Character window, I guess? No. Hang on, let me see if I can turn off my meditation bonuses. Manage. Oh yeah, let me use that. Anyway. Oh yeah, how's my... no, I'm getting distracted. Back to the story. Or, actually... Wow. 106 registered fighters in the 5th tournament. Oh, wow. All of these lore things are so outdated. Anyway, we've got a good grasp of the early era of Wurm, and sort of a not great grasp of the era after it actually released. Because nobody's editing these apparently. Like, I'm sure there have been a couple of things that need to be put on here that have happened since. Alright. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell. Bye.